Oh my God.
Honk,
My eyes are small. I'm in the morning. Hello.
honk.
Honk. Um, Jet lag edition is over. We are back in the time zones we are supposed to be in, I hope, Brad. Are you feeling in your time zone?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just having like renovations done in my apartment, so it's a different type of tired. Just like waiting for something to go wrong, kind of tired.
Okay,
Um,
but so far everything goes right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The demolition was super easy because my wall was rotting, so it just fell apart. uh, but yeah, I don't know. How's San Francisco?
Great today. It's not sunny at least, but it's nice.
Okay. Yeah,
Um, it's still there. I mean, it exists.
San
Um,
Francisco still exists. As of this recording, San Francisco is a city and it exists.
yeah, I think it's important to clarify this. So,
Would you perhaps say that worst segue ever? San Francisco is durable.
is it durable? Yeah, yeah, it's durable. Yeah, you could say.
Because I'm trying to transition into talking about durable objects.
Yeah, and I was thinking of like, how can we make now the comparison to a durable object and a city? And I was like, it's interesting, but maybe we transition to the durable object straight away with not mapping them to cities.
Yeah, that's
um,
fine. Yeah, I don't think the mapping doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to get us started?
so I think main part is we want to talk about them because they are now available for everyone on the free plan,
Yep.
um, which is exciting. And for me, it is. I think you said that last week already. It is a little bit hard to wrap your head around it in the first place because in a serverless environment, they introduce state for you, and they are also not doing it only with persistent storage. I mean, that's part of what they have, but they are also really good in doing it, real time, so to say, so close to the user, right? So durable object is kind of a state management for your serverless environment. And you have a little bit less control of, like, your worker would terminate right at one point, but the durable object is managed by Cloudflare. So yeah, I don't know. Actually, that's a good question, Brad. Does it stay alive the whole time? Probably also not completely, right? It has its storage where it has its state, but
So a durable object can be kind of shut down at any moment's notice, which means that anything that it has in memory would kind of be evicted,
mhm.
which is why, and we'll probably see something to this effect. Maybe we won't. There's certain ways when you set them up to kind of like replenish any of the state that you wanted to save. Uh, and it kind of helps safeguard against the fact that these things might just boop, go away and then pop back into existence when they are requested. But this is it, like the more we're talking about this, the more that I'm like it feels so abstract,
Yeah,
uh,
yes.
and it might be good to make it concrete.
Should we? I mean, I like this. I have some code here from the last hack night that we did. It was an application. And I think that outlines it quite well what a durable object is also doing. It's a singleton, right? So it is available for everyone. It's the same thing that is available, the object. So it was an app when you opened it. And if I would press, and you also have it open, and I press honk on the application, your phone will also honk. So it is coming to all of the phones that have the site open then.
We should have had this open on our phones for this right now.
Right now, well, I have my phone here. Oh, well,
I
I don't have the link. Huh?
I don't have the link either. I think it's fine. I think in Prince, yeah, it's easy enough to understand. So like
Let
one person presses honk,
and the other
then
person.
yeah, all other people who are connected to this website will hear a honk.
Yes,
That's how it went. Yeah.
that's how it works. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
like, it's basically if we would have a counter open, I guess, and if I would increase the counter, it will also go up on your end, although you are not increasing the counter.
Yep.
So that's the idea of having. singleton for everyone basically, or for everything that is available. I can go and say you get my entire screen.
Woo.
And I add that.
Hey, it's us. Hey, it's
And
code.
that's code. That's a project. That's a project that honks basically.
What's the name of the project?
Honc.
With a K. Honc with a K, not honk with a
Honc
C.
with a K. Honc with a K, build with honk with a C. So yeah. And I think it has both parts in there. It has the normal worker that we know. And then it also has here a durable object, or it describes here in that file the durable object. And I think it makes use for the durable object of WebSockets. So I think that's also something you can implement using durable objects if you have like this WebSocket connection you want to have with a worker, right?
Yes. So a very good mental model is if you want to use WebSockets on Cloudflare, use a durable object. I have a little bit of an asterisk here, which is that you can use WebSockets inside of just a normal worker, but you can only create like a single, how do I put this? Like a WebSocket connection from client to server, and you can't do stuff like broadcast messages to all connected clients, which is what this honk thing needs to do. So it's like you and I are both connected to have WebSocket connections open. We would need a durable object in order for me to do something, and then that to send a message to you. Otherwise, if you just need that kind of like single channel of client server, you don't necessarily need a durable object. So that's the asterisk here. But for this app in particular, you need a durable object.
Because we want to have it both open on our ends, right? So that's the...
Yeah, basically because we're sharing, because sharing is caring, and we're sharing the honks, I guess.
We're sharing the honks, yeah. We're sharing also the durable object. So yeah, and I think that's what it's like, using here the durable object from Cloudflare and using the WebSocket server.
Yep. So just a point of, okay, a couple things we can dig into.
Okay.
So at the top, we're very tippy top of the file, we're importing durable object. And that is like it's a base class for implementing your own durable object. And that's why below that, you see that export class WebSocket hibernation server extends durable object on line 8. So it's extending durable object, so it gets all of the goodies of that base class, which includes helper methods for like managing WebSocket connections and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then you can basically use that, right? So now that you have the interface, you can start using the WebSocket basically.
Yep. And that's what this fetch does, is it creates yeah, well, it's the comment. I love this code because I was looking, I was like, oh, it's so well commented. It's like it does the demo for us. So this syntax looks perhaps a little bit strange, but there's a reason for it. So the person who built this in a very good way, for a reason that I can explain in a second. But basically, it creates two ends of a WebSocket connection, meaning the client and the server. And then if we scroll down, it uses a particular, so that this.ctx, this.context.accept WebSocket, it uses that interface to kind of store the information about the connections to this durable object in order to enable something called hibernation. And hibernation relates a little bit to what you were asking in the beginning, and I didn't want to dive into it until we had some code in front of us or something more concrete. So long explanation, and I apologize for that, but it should make sense. So your Cloudflare worker is supposed to be largely stateless. It gets a request in, and then a request comes out, and you're not keeping anything in memory. And that's what makes a WebSocket connection a little trickier, because then you have to keep something persistent open to that worker, which in theory could hit time limits and things like that. So in this case, we want to maintain a WebSocket connection to the durable object and not directly to the worker. And that's all fine and dandy because the durable object can do that. However, that can get kind of expensive. So like the longer that it's running and maintaining that open connection, the more money that it costs. By the way, durable objects, very cheap, and they're on the free plan now anyways. But in practice, for a large scale application, what you ideally would want is that if Cloudflare, you want to give some signal to Cloudflare like, hey, if this is kind of inactive for a while, it's safe to evict it from memory. And then you won't be billed for it. Yeah, what else do I want to say on this? So yeah, this basically the APIs they're using here enable hibernation for the durable object. That if the durable object is not in use, then it can kind of just go quiet for a bit. And then it can be taken out of hibernation, and then you start getting billed again. Again, it's very cheap and it's on the free plan, so that's all fine.
Okay, so basically hibernation is the concept that allows me to put the durable object also to sleep, right? So that it's not running constantly, and that it remembers kind of the last state it was in.
Yeah, it allows like Cloudflare. I don't know if I'm explaining this super well, but it basically allows Cloudflare to like do some additional optimizations that is better for their infrastructure, and then help save you money if you're not like, if you don't need your durable object like always on, I guess is a way to explain it. But yeah.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I think then so then this is the WebSocket connection, and here we define basically what we do with the message, right? So here we ask if we get the play, and I assume that's the play for Honc, not knowing.
Yeah. So in this case, this is one of the methods on that durable object base class, and we are just implementing it our own. This method is going to get fired anytime there's a new incoming message. And that message can either be a string or an array buffer for binary data. And that string in this case can just be, so we would expect that the client, when you like press a button that says honk and you want it to honk for everyone else, then the message it's sending is play.
And then it should play on all the client sites that are open, basically.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's that for each loop right there. So it looks for every single WebSocket that is connected, and then sends a play message back.
I haven't looked like how the client is implemented. Maybe we can dive into this in a second.
Yeah, I think we could maybe do it today. I think it's probably pretty simple.
Yeah, we should do it. It's funny if you look into not your code and look for the client or for the website that is built, maybe in the index.
I think it's in assets.
It's an asset there. There's an MP3 file. And there is an index HTML. And also I'm like, what I should have done is I should have looked into the Wrangler toml, because probably someone is using asset bindings, or that would be my assumption here. Yes, and I would have seen where I should look for my client implementation, because that binding will point towards that directory, and then this index HTML will basically be rendered as the client. This is a site. It has I don't know, it will play at one point. There's a button.
There's a button.
There's a button. There is a media. No. I mean, sorry. Yeah, but I mean, it's that's basically. I think if we deploy it, the main part is we have this MP3. We have the button that says honk. When we click it, it plays honk. So, kind of that is our client situation. And then we haven't looked into, we now know that we have the durable object to have that WebSocket connection open. We know that we have a client side. We haven't looked into the into our index.ts. We haven't looked into the app logic itself. So let's do that. And then I would say we just deploy it and see if we can honk.
Yeah.
Does it sound good to you? So let's look into our implementation here. It's a Ono application, surprise. And we import here the WebSocket hibernation server. And I guess we define it here in the bindings for TypeScript. And here we mount the WebSocket.
Yeah, so this is mounting a route. So I think technically you could just do an app.get for this. Mount is usually, actually if you hover it should tell you. Yeah, mount is usually there to help you add in like routing or sections of your application that are built with other frameworks than Hono. Mm-hmm. But that just means it's a generic way to add routes. So in this case, yeah, we're just adding a handler at the /ws, and that's to accept an incoming request to establish a WebSocket connection. And then we can look at the body of that function, where we will see, okay, first we look for the upgrade header. So this is a little bit of WebSocket specifics, but there should be a special header there that's present when you want to basically like negotiate the WebSocket connection. Mm-hmm. So upgrade meaning like, let's upgrade this HTTP request to a WebSocket connection. And so we throw an error here if that header's not present, and if it's not equal to WebSocket. So that's that. After that, we can do, okay, so these are some durable object specific concepts. And again, this is part of the learning curve that typically, I don't know, I think we've all not necessarily struggled, just had to wrap our heads around. So that durable, the WebSocket hibernation server, right? So that was a class that we created. Mm-hmm. That was a class, and then a durable object, as we're thinking of it right now, is really like instances of that class. So technically, you could have unlimited instances of that class. They all have this similar behavior. But
wait, is the durable object not a singleton? Like that does mean it only exists once, right? So you don't have unlimited instances of it.
Each instance is an instance of that class, but has its own state and its own, okay. You know, it's like all the methods are the same, but the state is different.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So in this case, that's kind of like, this is using a singleton pattern because it's always going to refer to the same durable object, I guess. I don't know if that's a pattern. You know, it's, and that's because the way that that's implemented is that we first, so like we need an identifier for the instance of this durable object. And that identifier here is just foo in the code base. Mm-hmm. And so we get an ID, and then we have an ID that we can use to reference an instance of a durable object. And then after that, we use the durable object class right here to create a stub, which is really again, this is just small concepts to wrap your head around. The stub is like the worker's interface into the durable object. And this is a kind of a critical thing to understand. So why is this different than just having the durable object itself in the worker? Because the durable object, you can't actually, external things cannot access its or change its state directly. It can only interact with it by quote unquote sending messages, which would be through an RPC call or this .fetch that we see here on line 28. And so the only thing that really can like modify the durable object state is the durable object itself. And so that's why this is called a stub. And that was confusing for me when I would read the docs and stuff. I'd be like, why is this a stub? And that's because it's not the durable object. It's our way of interacting with the durable object, I would say.
Okay, so it's only like calling the durable object.
Yeah.
As you phrased it. So and that makes sense again with the singleton for me as well. Now, sorry, I was having like this, like, wait, we only have one durable object, but we can open multiple message connections to that durable object.
Yeah. And so I want to maybe to dig into when would this be like multiple instances of our Honc durable object. So imagine like, this is very contrived, but like a version of this where we only wanted to honk in specific regions, let's say.
Yeah.
And so for that, what we could do there is on line 25, when we get the ID, instead of just passing in foo, we could pass in the name of the region if we like pulled that from the headers somehow. So if maybe we wanted one for the EU, the one for Asia Pacific, one for US, then that would be our ID. That would be the string we pass to ID from name, and then we would get back an ID for a durable object that would only honk for people connecting from that region.
But that also would mean we would have multiple durable objects for each region, right? So we would have an instance of a durable object for each region. Region, yeah.
But all those would behave kind of exactly in the same way, which is that they broadcast a honk, but they only broadcast a honk to people who connected from that region.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that makes sense. Should we go wild and just deploy this now?
Heck yeah.
I don't know if I need to maybe install first everything. Sorry,
yeah.
I should. Yeah, that's.
I might say. Oh yeah, you can also pn. Oh yeah, it worked. You already installed.
I mean, it's a wild guess. I don't know if something else is needed. Let's see.
Duck.
You must create a namespace.
Using a new SQLite classes migration. Let's look in your Wrangler TOML.
Do I need to do something with my account? Because it has something that
I think go into your Wrangler TOML real quick. And let's see here. We have new classes. Yeah. So we need to add something under migrations. We have new classes, and then let's look at, can I see your error one more time? Debugging in real time. I hope this doesn't get too quiet.
New SQLite class, maybe this one here?
Yes, but let me see where exactly. I'm kind of blanking, but Wrangler TOML. It's one of those things that you can figure out once and you forget.
But just to understand, you're doing this Googling, right? You're not pulling off this on your head, but...
Oh, yeah, 100%. I am...
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at some code I wrote earlier.
That's a good way.
Okay, what is it?
I would maybe say it's this one here, but...
So, yeah. So we have the tag... Okay, instead of new classes, put new SQLite classes.
Or put this one as well, like under it?
Nope.
Just...
I think just new SQLite classes equals WebSocket Combination Server.
Okay.
No. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. Yep.
And then delete this one here.
I think that should work. Let's try it out and we'll see.
Yes. I don't know if it asked me that before. Looks good. We have a duck. Why we have okay. It's called duck. It should be called Honc, but that's okay. We open it for now. You can open it as well, Brad, on your phone. It's this.
I am. Oh
this
yeah.
thing, and I open it also on my phone, so we can honk here a little bit. Everyone who's watching this, you honked already. Let me also, like, if we have more.
I don't know if people can hear it, but it is working.
It is working, and it's a fun project, actually. Let me also open my phone, then it will honk twice. Do you have one device open with it or two?
I have one. I have my phone open. I don't know how well people can hear it, because I
think there are also
we're having a lot of fun
pressing the button now, so I don't know. Nice. But yeah, that's the idea of a durable object, and it's getting better.
I need to close this.
I also close it. But it's good fun. Let me.
Okay, real quick on the code. Oh wait, I did want to highlight one more thing. If you can pull up the code again, because I want to connect one last dot, or two last dots, and I'll give myself a hard stop of 3 minutes. Okay, so in the index.ts file, we have that stub.fetch, and then we pass in the request that we got from, that's basically incoming. So the user made a request basically to establish this WebSocket connection. And what we're doing is we're passing that request directly to the durable objects. So if you open durable.ts, where
that's
the durable
message, right? That's the message where we asked if play.
No. Aha. So
okay.
So this is like, it's one of those things where like we kind of need to explain everything twice a little bit. So that fetch is that method that we call on the stub is this right here, this fetch method. And so
can you give me the line which fetch message you are talking about?
Line 9.
Line 9. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, perfect.
Yep. So and that's, like, you can see the request parameter is the one, that's the request that's coming in from the front end. And then that's where we do all of the negotiation for the WebSocket connection. So that's what helps establish that WebSocket connection. Then there's a lot of magic under the hood that maintains it in the durable object state, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you go back to the index.html, I want to actually show, I don't think I've looked at it yet. So towards the, if we look at this, everything inside the script tag, so starting on line 89. So this this function right here looks like it tries to establish the WebSocket connection to the /WS, and that's going to do that with that new WebSocket. So that's a web standard. Then it adds some event listeners, so like the open event, just to know when we establish the connection. And then it has this add event listener for message. And this is the whole thing where it's like, if the message itself is just that string play, so this is the one that we send back from the durable object, then it looks for the goose sound and it plays it with a little timeout. So that's the part that gets a message from the WebSocket and plays it, and that message can be triggered by any of us that are connected. So then if you scroll down a bit more, let's see here. Okay, down. All right, so that document.query selector with click, that's just adding the handler to the button, and that handler executes that on line 130, ws.send play. And that's the thing that sends the message to the durable object via WebSockets, saying like, hey, someone clicked this button and is ready to play goose sound, or duck sound, depending on how you interpret it. So yeah, I wanted to call those out. I took 3 minutes and 30 seconds to do it, but that kind of shows exactly how all these things are working together.
Nice. I think it's and I feel it was quite impressive to see this also after a hack night, someone get completely new on Cloudflare Workers, completely new to Hono, and also obviously new to durable objects. Building this was kind of cool to see how quickly that was achieved. Cool. Yeah. Should we honk? Well, we honked out today quite a bit. I feel like we really
did honk out.
out.
That's the name of the live stream.
Finally, maybe that should become our jingle. We record the we record this like multiple times and then we play it every time we come in and every time we go out. It's like honk honk honk.
Honk, honk, honk.
Yep. Maybe I come up with something. Let's see.
Maybe that's what we do. Maybe not.
Maybe not. We see. But I think that brings us to the end as well. We talked about durable objects. We don't know what we talk next week about, but we will find out. We will figure out.
Well, I mean, so durable objects are, okay, just maybe a short recap. They are a way to have persistent state that can be shared across multiple clients in the Cloudflare ecosystem. So it's a solution in this kind of like serverless context to have like stateful connections, but also you can do a ton of cool stuff with durable objects. At the end of the day, it is a distributed computing primitive, and it's extremely powerful when wielded well. And that is the reason for which it is the backbone of Cloudflare's agents SDK, because it can hold state, receive messages, do things in the background, things like that. So I don't know if we plan on talking about agents next week, but it could be a good. Yeah.
It's also interesting because that you mentioned agents. I think also the message queues are built around durable objects. Like if you want to implement like messages like Kafka or whatever, durable objects are important because you can well, you don't have to build this message queue yourself, but the message queue that Cloudflare uses builds on top of durable objects.
Cloudflare builds a lot of their own stuff on top of this. I think workflows are also under the hood. They are, which I know you love workflows.
Yes, I do.
Those are also built with DOs. Hey, we have someone in the chat. I just looked at the comments.
And I see someone wants to build like a Hevestka. I don't know. I probably pronounced it wrong, but wants to build a multiplayer game with durable objects, and I think that would be super interesting to see.
Yeah, the docs have an example of like Doom, multiplayer Doom with durable objects. So I think that's a perfect use case. Like this, like multiplayer, people collaborating, all of that stuff works well with durable objects.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see more durable object projects, to be honest. So maybe we see that game at one time of the live.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know if you start on that. Yeah, cool.
Okay, then promise. Okay, and it's recorded. So oops. So now we have you. No. Let us know. Let us know how it goes. And yeah. Brett, you will make a video about it. That's cool. You can also come to the stream if you want. We invite you here officially.
Yeah, this is a formal invite. Come on here. Talk about it.
As an invite as well, if you like. But yeah, it doesn't say it. Like, yeah, that's it. That is. We don't see if the invite gets accepted or not, but we will find out in the future.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. So see you next week.
All right. Honk.
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 Honk.